This poem was written by Lawrence Ferlinghetti in 2007, based on a poem written by Gibran in 1933 called Pity the Nation. Pity the nation whose people are sheep and whose shepherds mislead them. Pity the nation whose leaders are liars, whose sages are silenced, and whose bigots haunt the airwaves. Pity the nation that raises not its voice except to praise conquerors and acclaim the bully as hero, and aims to rule the world with force and by torture. Pity the nation that knows no other language but its own and no other culture but its own. Pity the nation whose breath is money and sleeps the sleep of the too well fed. Pity the nation, oh pity the people who allow their rights to erode and their freedoms to be washed away. My country, tears of thee, sweet land of liberty. This is the video I didn't want to make, and I don't think there'll be a time when I'm ready to make it. I'm not ready to make it now. I have no idea what I'm going to say to you, but I feel like I need to say something. I feel really, really sorry for all of you who didn't want this. I feel really worried for all of you, the women who will now live under a regime not that dissimilar to the regime that you see in Iran, that you will not have the rights that you are used to having. It's very frightening, and I'm so sorry for all of my American followers who I know have been really anxious. I'm so sorry, and I can't make it better. We can't make it better. And I can't get my head round, and I won't get my head round why some American public chose a white supremacist over a woman. I'm going to say a woman because I think misogyny was top of the list for the reason why she didn't get enough votes. And I saw something yesterday which I agree with. The misogyny isn't just from the men. I sat watching yesterday morning for me when I got up and I put the news on and thought, oh fuck, what the fuck, they were looking at the audience and the people in the audience, and there were lots of women celebrating, and I just thought, what have you done? What have you done? And will you be celebrating in a year's time? It's like turkeys voting for Christmas, or I saw something written yesterday, glaciers voting for the sun. It's extraordinary, and I'm not sure how it happened. I've read some stuff where some people feel that it doesn't smell good. I watched Dr. Arlene yesterday evening talking about what she has extrapolated so far, and she said that 18 million fewer people voted this time compared to 2020, which goes against a lot of the things that I was seeing about turnout. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And last time he was the president, he was an embarrassment on the world stage. Well, he was an embarrassment, but an embarrassment on the world stage. And we laughed. And as his term came to an end, I can remember being very worried about him having access to the nuclear codes and wondering what he might do between November and January, obviously not knowing that there would be this insurrection that he incited. And remember being so relieved once the handover of power happened. This time it feels very dangerous, and the on one what is it? I can't even think still. A glimmer of light is that there won't be an insurrection or a civil war. But I don't know what the fuck he's going to do. I really don't know what he's going to do. You know, the times, or the times I've seen, it might only have been said once, the times I've seen him saying, somebody said, will you be a dictator? And he said, no, well, I will be on day one. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is he planning on day one that will happen? And of course, you know, the people that he admires are the dictators. Putin, Kim Jong-un, President Xi. He admires them. He used to read a lot about Hitler. And there's so many worrying things, and there are people still saying to me, it's nothing to do with you, and they can fuck off. It is something to do with me. I don't live in America. I have friends that live in America, but he's going to pull out of NATO, and Europe is already destabilised by what's going on with the war in between Russia and Ukraine. It's already destabilised by the shift in Europe towards the right. It's destabilised by what's happening in Germany with right-wing parties gaining power. It's destabilised. Take America out of Europe, that will just encourage the right to push even further. So it has an impact on us all. It's not just on Americans, but I worry more for American women, American young women, American women of childbearing age. I saw stuff yesterday, women saying, I've just made a decision that I won't have children. I can't bring a child into this. I can't risk being pregnant under this regime. I can't. And there was a black woman who said, I think that she said her husband has said he'll go and have a vasectomy so that she doesn't risk getting pregnant. Because for her, as a black woman, the odds against her mortality-wise is higher now. So it's not going to get better, and it's going to get worse. So he says, I'll have a vasectomy. People saying, I wish I'd had a vasectomy. I wish I'd had my tubes tied. And I think people will go off and do that. They've got if they can. It depends what state they live in. And that's horrifying. For me, who's come from and lives a life which is pretty deregulated, I'm horrified, absolutely horrified that even now, having with Roe v. Wade being overturned, that women are having their lives regulated. It horrifies me. Just, and there's people commenting on my my vlog still, oh, that's good, that's done, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, fuck off. It's not good, and you're a woman saying that. Women shooting their sisters, women not caring about what happens to other women. It just is mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. So I'm not going to say any more because this is all me unfiltered, as usual. But I just wanted to say something. I wanted to say how sorry I am to my subscribers who are American and who have been discussing with me how anxious they've been over the last few months. And of course, they've woken up and the nightmare is true. And I feel very, very sorry for them. And I so wish I could do something about it, and I can't. Just know that I am beside you, and that's all I can be. And I can't make it okay. Of course I can't. I'd love to. I'd love to have that power. I think if I had power, it would not be malignant. It would be compassionate. And I think if Kamala had been elected, it would be compassionate leadership. And you ain't got that now. JFK Jr. being in charge of health, for fuck's sake. Elon Musk being in charge of business, I think, for fuck's sake. I don't even want to make a joke about it. You know, I can't, it isn't a joke. There is no joke in this. It's not funny. And all I can do is sit and watch. I've removed myself from Twitter. I decided that I went back to Twitter because of the election. I think maybe for the UK election. I went back to Twitter because it's a place where I can have access to a lot more opinions, which is useful when you're wanting to see what's going on. And so, of course, I've been on Twitter for this. And I do wonder whether once again I found myself in a bubble, which is what happened to me years ago when Jeremy Corbyn was running in the UK. I was very positive that he was going to be elected and was absolutely sucker punched when he wasn't, and the same has happened this time. And I think what happens is that you follow like-minded people, and I have seen a lot of the right-wing rhetoric. I have seen a lot of the MAGA shit, but I'm following people who are like-minded, and it just reinforces my bubble. And I found myself I realised yesterday that I was searching over the internet for positive stuff. And I think that's what I do. You know, I'm searching for positive stuff. And I was doing that yesterday and became sort of more conscious of it and thought, but there isn't anything at the moment. I'm sure there is, but not on this subject. So I removed all ability for me to log into, I wish I'd cleared my profile, but I didn't. All ability for me to log into Twitter. I downloaded a new password saver app because LastPass was had become more vulnerable. So I'd done that when Joe was here on Friday last. So I went into that and removed all the logins that all the Twitter logins and passwords. So I couldn't go back to Twitter anyway unless I created a new account, and I don't want to. I don't want to be there. So this is the video I didn't want to make, and please be safe. Please find ways to take care of yourselves. Please look out for vulnerable people. Please find groups that you will feel supported in. Yeah, that's it really. Thanks for watching. See you next time with news from here, maybe.